Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 6th of September. Reading through Ezekiel, we come to chapter 9. Ezekiel has a vision of being taken to Jerusalem and he sees the apostasy in the temple. And chapter 9 begins where he sees the judgment of God beginning. I heard the Lord call out in a loud voice, "Bring near those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city, each with a weapon in his hands." And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen, who had a writing kit by his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. Now the glory of the Lord of Israel went up from the cherubim where it had been, and moved to the threshold of the temple. And so you have this impending judgment of God. And you see the glory of God beginning to depart. It moves from the center of the temple, where the altar is, to the threshold of the temple. So God is busy leaving as judgment comes on Jerusalem. And there are these armed men come to execute judgment. But he continues, "The Lord called to the man clothed in linen, who had the writing kit at his side, and said to him, 'Go throughout the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the forehead of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it.'" And so he's saying those that are aligned with me, those that grieve over the apostasy and the idolatry and the falling away, make a mark on them. And as you keep reading, he says those people will be spared the judgment. And we see that same idea picked up again in Revelation, where you have everybody's given either the mark of the beast or the mark of the lamb. And those with the mark of the lamb are taken into heaven. And as I read that, I thought the great comfort, as I looked at that, was that yes, God's judgment is going to come, and it doesn't look pretty, but you can't leave the world as it is. With the amount of sin and evil, you can't let that flourish. There has to be a judgment and an accounting and a holding responsible. And that will come. But what it also says is, in the midst of all the evil, there are those that grieve and lament over what is going on around them. There are those that are aligned with God, that New Testament imagery, that are part of Christ, that have come to Christ, that are washed in the blood of the Lamb. And God notices them. God sends somebody, an angel, and says, "Go and mark them. Those people that are faithful, go and put a mark on them so that they are protected." And God sees us, and that's a great encouragement. We're never perfect. We never get it completely right. But as we align with God, as we seek to follow him, God sees that. God notices. And God sends an angel of protection to us. So be encouraged as the world seems to be sort of on a bit of a downhill slope, as things around us become more and more fractious, and standards change and people move away from the standards of God. And the challenge to stand with him becomes more and more challenging. As we do that, we know God notices, God sees, God marks us, and God keeps us. And for me, that's a great encouragement and a source of blessing. May you know that blessing as well.